Morning, everybody. Hope you all had a great weekend for Easter and you enjoyed those beautiful sunny days and those cool thunderstorms that came through on Monday. Hope everybody picked up all the limbs and branches that fell down. Ready to start our assessment for our geometry. We're going to go over each one step by step. I'm going to do it in two different videos because of video length. But hopefully, before you watch this video, do it on your own, try it yourself, and then we're going to self-check it as we go through it together. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to change this over to my document camera so you can see the document. All right, now you see I have a couple things with me to help me out. This was our study guide, and that's found on last week's lessons. We're going to focus on these quadrilaterals because that's what you need to be familiar with and ready to go for 6th grade next year. So our trapezoids, our parallelograms, rectangles, rhombuses, and squares. And that's what we looked at in our weekly math group yesterday. So I'm going to keep this handy in case I need to refer to it. And this is the paper that you should be completing. And again, it should be done before you watch this video. Try it on your own. It's only, I think 10 questions. So you can knock that out pretty quickly. Okay, so this is where we're going to be. All right, let's look at number 1. Let me scroll in a little bit here. Okay. A lot of times with these geometry questions, you just have to reason them through and eliminate choices that don't make any sense. So we're going to try to do that together. Okay, let's try number 1. Which of the following is an attribute of all rhombuses? I'm still going to use cube strategy always when I'm doing word problems and they're asking me questions. Even if there are no numbers, we're still going to use this strategy to tear apart the question. Okay, so which of the following is an attribute of all rhombuses? Here's a key word right here, attribute. Attribute is just another word for property. And those are the properties we talked about through the week, like parallel sides, equal sides, obtuse angles, acute angles, all of those. All right, so let's talk about rhombuses. All right, if we remember about a rhombus, and here's my rhombus directions here, rhombuses have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides, so it's considered a parallelogram, and it has to have 4 equal sides. So it's like a square, that's a square as a rhombus, 4 equal sides, and 2 pairs of parallel sides. Even if they're slanted and they have acute and obtuse angles, they're still rhombuses if they have 4 equal sides and 2 pairs of parallel sides. All right, let's take a peek. Is a true attribute, and this is a word that's important to all, so all rhombuses have to follow this. Do all rhombuses have 2 acute angles? Well, this one does. Here's an acute angle, and here's an acute angle. This one does. But this square, which is a rhombus, does not. It has 4 right angles. So we can cancel that one out right away because it's not true. Does it have to have 4 right angles? Well, that's the same thing. My square rhombus does 4 right angles. But these 2 rhombuses don't. They have 2 acute angles and 2 obtuse angles. So we can cross that one out. It has to have 4 equal sides. Well, that was the first property we talked about. It has to have 4 equal sides. So yes, let's just make sure the other ones. No sides with equal length. Can't be that. So B is the correct answer. Has to have 4 equal sides. B. All right, let's look at number 2. Which statement is true? So we're looking for the true one, meaning 3 of these are going to be false. 1 of them is true. All quadrilaterals, and we know quadrilaterals have 4 sides, have opposite parallel sides. The way I usually go at these questions is if I can draw one that does not have opposite parallel sides, then I know this is false because it says all quadrilaterals have opposite parallel sides. And you'll see my drawing here that I drew. Here's 2 quadrilaterals, 2 4-sided figures that do not have pair of parallel sides. These are not parallel. They're going to cross if I extend them. And these are not parallel. They're going to cross if I extend them. Here's another one. Not parallel, but they are quadrilaterals. So we can cross that one out. All trapezoids have 2 obtuse angles. Now, if you remember when we talked about trapezoids, it has to have 1 pair of parallel sides. That's it. That's its only quality other than quadrilateral. But if you look at this one that I just drew, does it have, well, let me make sure what that said, 2 obtuse angles. Well, this is a right angle. Here's an obtuse angle, greater than 90, and here's an acute. So do all trapezoids have to have 2 obtuse angles? No. Here's one that has 1 obtuse angle. So I can cross that one out. All rectangles have opposite sides that are the same length. Okay, so that key is opposite sides that are same length. Okay, so I tried to draw a couple rectangles here. Here's one, here's two. Opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are what's across from them. Those are equal. These little sides are equal, and these opposite sides are equal. If you remember from our very first day, a rectangle has to have two pairs of opposite equal sides. So yes, all rectangles have opposite sides that are the same length. All hexagons have 6 sides with equal length. Notice even though I got what I think is the right answer, I'm going to double check myself and look at all the choices. All hexagons have 6 sides that are equal length. Well, I know hexagons have 6 sides, and that was my hint, that X right there, hexagon 6, equal length. Remember, if I can draw one that doesn't follow that, then it's got to be true. Let's see this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided figure. They are not the same length. This is much shorter than this side, so that all sides don't have to be equal. So at a process of elimination, C is it. All right, let's look at number 3. Which attribute, same thing as property, is always, that's the key, always an attribute for both rectangles and squares. So this attribute has to be true for a rectangle and a square. Exactly one pair of opposite parallel sides. Well, if it only had one pair of opposite sides, that would be a trapezoid, so that's not true. It has exactly 2 equal sides. That's definitely not true because rectangles have 2 pairs of equal opposite sides, and squares have to have 4 equal sides, so that's not true. It has to have 4 equal sides. That's true for a square, but not true for a rectangle. As you could see when I drew my rectangles before, it has opposite equal sides, but they're not all the same. So that leaves us D, 4 right angles. Yes, all squares and rectangles must have 4 right angles. D. Okay. All right, let's look at number 4. Deanna made mystery shapes on a coordinate grid by listing the coordinates. Her friends had to connect the coordinates in order. We're going to connect them in order, connecting the last one back to the first one. Which set of coordinates will make a trapezoid? All right, I'm going to use different colors for this one so that we can see the different shapes as I plot them on my grid here. All right, so let's do the first one. Remember, we always go down the hall before up the stairs. This is our X, this is our Y. So this has to go first, this is second, because a coordinate pair is an XY grid. 0, 7. Not going down the hall at all, but we're going up 7. 0, 7. Then 3, 7 over 3, up 7. Then 3, 10 over 3, up 10. Then 0, 10. Not over at all, up 10. And we connect the points as we go, connecting it back. Well, this one made a square. We're looking for a trapezoid. All right, I'm going to change my colors for B. 2, 3 over 2, up 3. 2, 9 over 2, up 9. I'm going to connect those dots in order. 4, 7 over 4, up 7. 4, 3 over 4, up 3. And what is that shape? Well, I see one pair of parallel sides. These are not parallel, so this one is a trapezoid. That one looks good so far. Let's double check the others though and make sure. Sorry about that. Next one is 1, 2 over 1, up 2. Next one is 1, 9 over 1, up 9. 9, 9 over 9, up 9. That's a long one. I'll connect them before I forget. Oops, sorry about that. Should have used a ruler. And 9, 2 over 9, up 2. And connect it back to the beginning. Well, that blue one looks like a rectangle to me. It has opposite equal sides and they're parallel. So that one is a rectangle. Nope. And last but not least, let's see if yellow shows up. 1, 3 over 1, up 3. 3, 6 over 3, up 6. 9 6 over 9, up 6. And 7 3 over 7, up 3. And connect as we go. Oh, I know what this one looks like. There we have a parallelogram. 2 pairs of parallel sides, no right angles, so it can't be a rectangle. 2 pairs of parallel sides. This one is a parallelogram. So our best choice is B. All right, our last one for this video. Which name could you give to describe the shape? All right, let's do process of elimination again. Is it a parallelogram? Well, a parallelogram, the only thing it needs to have is 2 pairs of parallel sides. 1 pair of parallel sides, 2 pairs of parallel sides. That's a possibility. Trapezoid. Trapezoid only has 1 pair of parallel sides. Can't be that, we just proved it had 2. A square. A square has 4 sides, 2 pairs of parallel sides, check, and 4 right angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, check. But it has to have 4 equal sides. These sides are longer than this, so no. A kite has 2 smaller sides and 2 longer sides that are adjacent. Looks just like a kite. No, this is a parallelogram. All right, I'm going to stop the video and then start the next one for number 6 through 10 in just a moment. So hang in there.